And welcome guys, the new basic settings in update 1.6 for PUBG Mobile have introduced new features that will help you improve your fluidity during gameplay. I will explain exactly how they work as well as my personal recommendation on how to use them. This is the structure of the video. I always leave timestamps in the description, so feel free to skip to a specific topic. But first, make sure you leave a like to help me grow this channel and bring more content to you guys. Let's begin. New settings. The basic settings are now divided into three main sections. If you scroll down, you will automatically switch between each one, so everything is still in one page. These are all the new settings in the basic section that were added in this update. I'll explain one by one. Headshot sound effects. This is the first setting. If you enable it, you will hear a sound effect when shooting at your opponent's head. Here's an example. My personal recommendation is that you disable it because its volume is quite high and can affect your auditory perception in the game. It's not necessary to use it to know if you hit a headshot because you already have the red hit markers to inform you of that. Focal length adjustment. This is the second setting. It controls how you modify the magnification of your scope in-game. If you set it to tap, you will have to press this button before modifying the magnification. Previously you could only do it like this, so it was very inconvenient. If you set it to hold, you just swipe from the button to adjust the magnification of your sight. Slide up to increase it. Slide down to reduce it. My personal recommendation is that you set it to hold. This is more convenient because it eliminates a step when modifying the scope zoom. It's easier and faster now. Highlight moments. This is the third setting. If you activate it, the game will record your moments during a match so that you can see them later. To watch them, simply go to Career Results and press this button. It will only show your highlights, so the whole game isn't recorded, but it strongly affects the performance of your device while playing, so I recommend disabling it to prevent it from heating up. Crouch Prone button. This is the fourth setting. If you activate it, the dedicated prone button will disappear. This is because this function is now combined within the crouch button. To go prone, you have to press and hold it. The problem with this function is that it takes a long time until your character starts the prone animation, so I recommend that you leave it disabled. Here's a comparison. You should only turn it on when playing thumbs only so as to reduce the number of buttons on the screen and make it simpler. Sprint sensitivity. This is the fifth setting. You can modify it from 0 to 100%. Your joystick usually has a limit from where you start running manually. It's not the same thing as the automatic sprint toggle. If your finger controls the joystick from inside this section, you will only be walking. This is what it looks like when you reach this limit with a setting at 50%. If you increase this setting to 100%, this point moves closer to the joystick. If you lower it to 0%, it will be as far away as possible. I recommend that you leave it between 30 and 70% depending on how you like it. Personally, I have it at 40%. This is because I like to maintain movement behind cover. I simply move my joystick in circles. If I set a high percentage for this setting, my movement will be out of control and I risk exposing myself to danger. If I set a very low percentage, my thumb will cover a large portion of the screen when trying to run diagonally. This setting does not affect your speed while jiggling. This is because this section of the joystick does not allow you to sprint. Something I've noticed is that if you set the setting too high, you can see glitches in your character animation. This indicates that you are at risk of accidentally running because by moving from left to right you are very close to the limit point, so in a sense, this adjustment can worsen your jiggle movement if you have it between 70 to 100%. Transparent UI mode. This is the last setting. If you activate it, you can make the interface transparent during a classic match. To do this, you have to press and hold the PUBG Mobile logo for a few seconds. The general interface will become completely invisible, but all buttons still work, including the map. To deactivate this mode, simply repeat this process. The PUBG Mobile logo is still visible. Personally, I do not see the purpose of this function. If you want more visibility, you can simply reduce the transparency of the buttons from your controls. Training exercises. These light training drills are designed to get used to the new features as quickly as possible with my recommended settings. You simply have to train them once until you get used to it. It's not necessary to repeat them daily. Exercise number 1. Magnification button. Use the 6x scope for this exercise. Just lower the magnification to shoot at a close range target and increase it to shoot at a distant target. You should practice this drill for a total of 10 minutes until you get used to the hold function to easily modify the magnification of the scope. Exercise number 2. Sprint sensitivity. Move the joystick in circles while taking cover behind these boxes. You simply have to alternate between each box as you run to change cover. This exercise helps you see if you feel comfortable with the sprint sensitivity that you have adjusted. You're testing your movement control by taking cover behind a box, but you're also testing your sprint reaction by running between each one. Feel free to use this exercise to tweak the sprint sensitivity setting until you find one that you feel comfortable with. Make sure to practice this for 10 minutes after finding the perfect percentage. You are finally ready to use the new features effectively in order to improve your combat performance on the battlegrounds.